So just taking each other in, feeling a sense of sangha, a sense of community, that all of us are arriving here together, and taking a couple breaths in and out, mindful breaths, awareness of any tension in the body that we may become aware of, letting the inhales be a source of nourishment, and inviting the exhalations to release some of that physical tension that comes into awareness. Inviting the eyes to perhaps shut down, close the curtains, or simply turn the gaze downward to reduce some of that visual stimulation that activates thinking. Perhaps setting an intention, whatever that may be for you, an intention to be more heart-centered, for the mind to quiet, for the body to settle. Whatever intention is here, let it be like a North Star for you. It gives us some direction. It gives us some focus. And we can plant that intention, a sankalpa in Sanskrit, as though it were already here. We're already experiencing that quieter mind, settling body, opening heart, or whatever the intention is. Invite it to be here now. And as we pause in our practice, letting go of all that happened before now, we pause and we arrive in this very moment. We arrive in the body. Sensing where the feet are. And even bringing the mind into the feet. Tethering the mind to the earth, to this moment right here, right now. Becoming more embodied, bringing awareness to the shape of the body, the position, orientation to gravity. For many of us, it may be sitting. For others, it may be lying down or even standing. Sensing the whole body. And we can scan this whole body that's breathing, breathing in, And releasing the breath. Inviting each breath to be nourishing. Each inhalation, inviting this mindfulness, this awakening to all that is here now. Each exhalation invites us to let go of muscular tension, any clenching, grasping through the body. We'll just touch on different body parts. It's a way to notice what's present, notice sensations, and inviting greater ease wherever we notice that there may be dis-ease. Noticing the face, eyes, and jaw. Sensing throat, neck, shoulders. Releasing any muscles that are contracted, burdened with effort. Arms, and sense the weight and the shape, the volume. Noticing hands and fingers. Notice where they're resting. And noticing perhaps even more subtle sensations of vibrations or tingling, pulsing. Noticing the torso, the whole front side of the torso, chest, rib cage, and belly. Each exhale, softening, relaxing, bringing greater ease. The back side of the torso, all along the spine and the shoulder blades, back of the rib cage. We can sense within the whole torso that subtle movement with each breath cycle, expanding and rising, a swelling. Each exhalation, a softening, a releasing, letting go. Awareness of pelvis, buttocks, making contact. This part of the body, the center of gravity, we might even invite a little bit more letting go into whatever supports are available. Piece of furniture, lower part of the body, floor. Moving awareness down into legs, upper legs, lower legs. And like the arms, we can sense their shape and their volume, their weight. As we marry mind with body, all the way to the feet and toes. Sensing the whole body present, the mind embodied. And awareness of any other tension that starts to increase within the body. At any time, we return again and again and again. Nourishing, and letting go. Might notice through our own direct experience that as the body settles, relaxes, that the mind is able to let go a little bit more. Mind can become a little quieter, more spacious. Simply experiencing what is arising now. This is our practice, training the mind to be here now with the body, the breath, awareness of the sounds that indicate some sort of movement. Might sense that greater world, that field of infinite spaciousness that we can simply be with. As we practice deepening concentration, holding attention in the here and now, we can notice when the mind wanders into perhaps some grasping for something else, something different, something more. Calling ourselves here again. If we notice that the mind is judging ourselves, our practice, judging something out there, we simply notice. This is what the mind does. It's one of its channels. And the mind is much, much more practiced in this channel of grasping and wanting something more than what's here. And so we'll practice in silence for a bit longer. And each time we notice that the mind has wandered, that the body is tensing, we simply refresh and we renew with our pause, and we begin again. Nourishing with each breath, letting go with each breath. Bringing awareness to what is arising now. And if what we find are emotions, thoughts, we simply notice them. We name them. We notice that that's what's happening. And we refresh, coming back to this moment, settling in the body. Perhaps opening the heart. And sensing a little bit more quieting in the mind. David White, a poet, says, enough. These few words are enough. If not these words, this breath. If not this breath, this sitting here, this opening to life, we have refused again and again until now. Until now. So when the mind begins to tell us that what is arising now is not enough, and we begin to grasp, we begin to cling to something else that's not here, the way that David White has written, it's actually a refusal. Rather than an opening to this life, it's a refusing of this life. And so I wanted to just speak a little bit more about this gap between being here and being somewhere else. When I visit Australia and I take the train, there's an announcement to mind the gap as you step from the platform into the car. And so we too can mind this gap between the here and now and the grasping for something else. The Buddha taught us that this grasping is one of the causes of suffering. It's one of the poisons that brings about suffering. And so science has taught us, with all the research about the brain and how our brain works, that we have these different channels, and primarily there's two channels. And there's first the one that we've been practicing today, this being here now, this being here with the body and the breath, awareness of what is arising, our internal experience of breath, of emotions, of thoughts, as well as awareness of our external experience of what is around us. And while what surrounds us is often moving and creating vibration, our ears perceive it as sound. And that this is the present moment. This is, as in David White's words, enough. If not this breath, this sitting here, this opening to life. So this is one mode. And this is the mode that most of us are here to practice, to carve a deeper groove, so to speak, as we clear the debris of the many distractions. And so this gap, the other channel on the other side of the gap, is this wanting something different. And scientists refer to this as the discrepancy-based processing part of the brain that is always monitoring, always scanning and noticing what is missing. And so, for example, if we decide to make breakfast and we desire granola, and we find that, oh, the box is empty and it's in the recycling bin, and there is no other granola, all of a sudden there's this gap of wanting what we don't have. And the solution is easy enough. We can get in our cars or walk on our own two legs and go to the store and purchase some more granola. If we have oats and nuts and dried fruit, maybe we can make our own. And then the gap is bridged because now we have our granola and we can have our breakfast. And we can be in the present moment with what we have. But what happens is that often it's not enough. As soon as we are satiated, then the mind is wanting something else. The mind is monitoring and scanning and looking for what else is missing. That desire for something more keeps us away from the present moment. Let's say that we want to go for a walk. We get ready, we put our shoes on, ready to go, and then all of a sudden there's a thunderclap. The sky darkens with clouds, with gray. And then we decide, oh, well, we don't get to go for our walk. And so there's this grasping for the clear skies and the dry weather, the sun. And so it's not so easy now. We can't just go to the store and buy what we want, the sunshine. We can't make the rain go away or the thunder and lightning. And so we have to choose something different than the walk or prepare ourselves for the elements. We put on our rain boots and jacket or perhaps umbrella, find a safe place to walk. Or perhaps we take refuge in where we are now. And we let this sitting here and this breathing be enough. And so it goes. We time passes and the sun comes out and we walk and we satiate ourselves with that desire. And then it's just a matter of time. We come back home and we're wanting something else, something that's not already here. We're grasping for a better job, perhaps, if we're not satisfied with our current job. Or we're reaching for perhaps a different place to live if where we are living is feeling dissatisfying. Where we start to perhaps ruminate about our relationships, more friends, a different boss, a different partner, a different anything. And so the Buddha has taught us that there is this natural tendency of the ego that creates this gap in the mind, this distance from the present moment that leads into suffering. And it becomes so habituated that as soon as we're satisfied and we get what we want and have that temporary satisfaction, it doesn't take long before the mind starts grasping for the next thing. As we look at what we have and what we don't have and what we want. And so the suffering begins when what we are grasping for is not within easy reach. And so coming back to the present moment, right here, right now, letting this be enough. This body we have, with all of its imperfections, whatever our living situation is present, letting that be enough. Because this is all we have right now. Why suffer with grasping for something someplace different when we don't have that someplace different? And what we do have, allowing it to be here, accepting it as it is, and letting it be enough. If there's not time to go to the store and buy more granola, or even more time to make granola, perhaps we can put some peanut butter or nut butter on a rice cake and let that be enough. Embracing the goodness of the rice cake because it's what we have. Bridging the gap. gathering the fruits of our practice, bringing to mind what is here now in this moment. And perhaps reflecting on where we were before our practice, and bringing a sense of gratitude to the fruits of our practice, whatever they may be. May they be enough. Gathering a collective breath in and a mindful breath out. Bringing hands together in prayer mudra, and bowing with gratitude to the practice exactly as it showed up. Bowing to ourselves for giving us the opportunity to carve out practice during the day, and bowing to each other in our Sangha. Namaste.
Thank you so